The Empire Exhibition of 1938 is the most comprehensive ever held. Conceived on a grand scale, designed and built by Scottish brains and Scottish hands, the 175-acre site, set among the natural beauty of the district, spreads its network of palaces and pavilions in ordered splendor.
My father had taken us on the adventure of a lifetime, and this Empire Exhibition at Bellahouston Park, Glasgow, turned out to be the biggest event Scotland, even to this day, has ever seen. Ordinary folk joined kings and queens and international stars who came from all corners of the world. 13.5 million people, 3 times as many as saw the Garden Festival of 1988. Billy Butlin masterminded the fun fair, and on the last night, despite a constant downpour, there were no fewer than 365,000 people inside Bellahouston. As the lights went down, little did they know that, as well as the end of an exhibition, they were witnessing the end of an empire. They just linked arms and sang and danced the rage of the moment, the Lambeth Walk. By contrast, all is now peace and quiet in Bellahouston. But the sights and sounds and the scent of that great spectacle are with me still, strong and clear more than half a century later. The Empire Exhibition shone like a beacon from that mellow decade of the 30s across the wasteland of war to the 50s, when life began to stir again. For the railway tracks of the world, they were making the last of the great locomotives at Springburn. Soon there would be a new industry for Scotland, the manufacture of cars like the Hillman Imp at Linwood, but saying goodbye to sewing machines at Clydebank. There were always boats in the park and music in the bandstand, but most of all, Glasgow was the sports capital of Scotland. Memories from my boyhood include Benny Lynch fighting Peter Kane for the world flyweight title, Jackie Patterson fighting the same Peter Kane for the same flyweight title, and of course I always came down to Hampden for big matches, never more joyously, dare I say it, and when my beloved Dons of Pittodrie were coming to inflict injury like the 6-0 defeat on Rangers in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup in '54. Yes, there was a magnetism about Glasgow, so perhaps it was inevitable that one day I would come here to work. And that's what I did on leap year night at the very start of the 60s, when I arrived to be a sub-editor on the Daily Express in Albion Street. In my diary, I recorded that I'd come to Glasgow, this great conglomeration of villages, city of golden hearts and stainless steel razors that promises to kill you with kindness if not with cutlass, city of tongue and twang, where even the church organs have glottal stops. To this great parish pump, far from the fresh fields of Buchan, I took my ploughman's stride, a motion which started somewhere in the marrow of the bone. And there I began to plough an uncertain furrow through streetfuls of rickety bow-legged men and fat asthmatic women, gravel-voiced beer barrels and pint-sized nyachs who would raise hell in the name of the Pope or King Billy, yet never darken the door of church or chapel. Glasgow had its tramcar to Auchenshuggle and its bus to Bonkle. One night in 1968, a great gale blew up over Glasgow. It seemed like any other big blast, but the significance was far-reaching. Just as the dimming lights of Bellahouston had signified the end of an empire, the wind that sucked through Sauchiehall Street that night not only blew off the city roofs, but cleared away the cobwebs of municipal thinking. By now, alas, so many of those fine buildings in the Gorbals and elsewhere had been pulled down, some removed to make way for the mighty motorway. But the great renovation of Glasgow had dawned. Now it was time to preserve what was left, to clean away the grime, and show the world what a wonderfully handsome place Glasgow really was.